Hey guys, welcome back to BManMTB. Today we'll be installing a new fork on my 2020 Opus Millard 1. And the fork that comes on it is a RockShox 35. The 35 stands for 35mm stanchions. It's an air fork with a lockout with rebound adjustment. And what I'll be installing is this Bomber Z1 with 150 mils of travel, and this one is boost. And this is the air fork version instead of the coil, because they make two versions of this fork. They make coil and air. Coil is more responsive to little bumps, and air is for like bigger jumps, kind of stuff around here, like around here. And this bike is 27.5 boost, and it comes stock with a 130mm fork. And we'll first start off by removing the front wheel, which on this fork is a 6mm. And this bike will have a few more videos on it, on some other stuff that I would like to upgrade on it, to make this bike a little bit more my kind of style, for like the kind of fit and feel that I like. And this bike also comes with full SLX drivetrain, cranks, cassette, derailleur, and shifter. And it also comes with Shimano 4-piston brakes. They're not the SLX ones, but they're still 4-piston brakes. And yeah, for the price that this bike is, it's freaking awesome. And this bike I have here is a size medium, which is 43 centimeters. And yeah, the 130mm travel fork is fine. I just want to go to one like my Genius, which is 150, just because I want a little bit more travel out of the front of the bike. And I've already did a few upgrades on this bike off camera, like a 35mm race face stem with race face next carbon handlebars. And the cassette was also a 10 to 45 tooth, and I put a 10 to 51 tooth on it just to give me a bit more range, which is kind of nice for out on like the trails and that kind of stuff. And I also changed the grips to death grips, because those are the grips that I put on my Genius, because the grips on my Genius I destroyed, and I liked them, so I bought another pair for this bike, and so far so good. Just pop off like that. That'll pop off like so. And what we'll need off this fork is the crown race, which is right there, which is just makes a nice spot for the bearing, the bottom bearing to sit. And so what I'll do is I'll get this fork all measured up with this one, get the star nut in it, and I'll catch you guys back when I'm done with that. So see you in a few minutes. So we got the steer tube all cut down, cut that much off, set it to 7 inches because that's how long the old fork was. And the tool we use is this Park Tool cutter for forks and carbon handlebars and all that kind of stuff. And for installing the star nut, I'll use this Park Tool star nut tool. But for this is the star nut that comes with the fork, because every new fork comes with one. And this just turns on there like that. And then this guy, when you put it on, it just goes on. and then you push it down, and then see how much, that little much, see if I pull it off, and then if I put it back on, how that much sticks out. That's how much the star nut's gonna go in. So, I'll just take my hammer, set it like that, while I'm threading it because it's threaded into the star nut. Pull that off, then your star nut's perfectly set in there, like every other fork that comes on brand new bikes or whatever. So all the star nut does is it pulls the whole headset together so that when your fork's in there, it doesn't have any play and make noise, which most people hate. And then what we did is we took the crown race off the old fork, put it on this fork, because all the crown race does is, like I said, makes a spot for the bottom bearing to sit on. That. Then this fork is cut down for both of them. And for the thing to go on. And the star nut. Okay, so next. Nice and smooth, and it has no play back and forth. Like if I try and rock this, the only thing that moves is the stand because the stand's not very strong. But so some of the weight's not on the star nut. I'll just snug up these, make sure it's kind of sort of straight. Look how nasty that looks though. 150 on a size medium, like the top tube's very short, so I call it, and the chain stays are nice and short. So it's like a jumpy hardtail, I guess you would say. Then this little cable clamp, it comes inside of a bag with the star nut in the box. And on all my bikes, just because it looks cleaner, I feed the front brake hose on the inside of the fork. Then there's some bolts in. And if you're wondering why this fork looks a lot like a Fox, it's because Fox bought Marzucci a couple of years ago, and so pretty much every single Marzucci fork just says it's a branded Fox with a few things that say Marzucci, like the air cap and the lockout for it looks a bit different than like the Fox ones. But other than that, they're pretty much the exact same. And then I'll make it so it's sloppy, so when I put the wheel in and it'll center it up. So I'm going to finish up putting the front wheel on it and adjusting the front brake caliper so that it doesn't rub. And this axle is a Fox axle, just without saying Fox, if you're wondering. Then on this bike, you should be able to get away with just holding the brake. Anyways, I'll adjust that after, but yeah. Hope you've enjoyed watching me install my Bomber Z1 on my 2020 Opus Millard, and this bike will have a few more things on changing a little bit more, making it more my bike. And yeah, go check out my Instagram, BeamandMTB. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment down below, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace.